So yeah, my girlfriend of almost 4 years, would have been 4 years on January 18th, but I should probably forget that date, broke up with me and it's pretty sad and I'm down horrendously and it's just horrible all around. So I thought what would be a better way to cope than to create a tier list for all the sad songs in my sad songs playlist. If that isn't the healthiest way, I don't know. I've also thought about making a finding every alcohol in my house, trying it and rating it on a tier list thing, but I guess that would be even more unhealthy. So yeah, I think the song playlist is a pretty good idea, and yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, so I've made this tier list with Tier List Maker because I'm too poor to own a Photoshop license. And so I'll have to look at my phone to see the list because those are all album covers mostly. So can't really differentiate those if it's two songs from the same album. So I'll have to look at my phone a little bit because there's the Spotify list. So, starting off with the first song, we've got Under the Bridge by Red Hot Chili Peppers, which is a great song in my opinion. Red Hot Chili Peppers always puts out great music, but unfortunately for this playlist, it's not that great because it's not actually so sad that it would make me cry and be upset. So, I think this is unfortunately just a C tier for the start. The next song is Mountains by Biffy Clyro. I gotta say, I've got a little bit of a Biffy Clyro bias. I really love the band, probably one of the best, biggest listeners out there. No, probably not. They've got a huge following, and I don't listen to that much music. But yeah, it's not really a sad song per se. The lyrics are kind of sad and in a symbolical fashion, but it's not really something that would make you think, "Damn, I'm in this situation right now. I'm tearing up. I hate everything." So yeah, it's just a B for me in that case. I have to go through these songs kind of fast because yeah, the video would the my German accent is coming through. The video would be really long if I covered every of these amazing songs one by one. So I'll have to fly through them pretty quick. But I think it's still sufficient. I think, yeah. So next song, Sudno by Boris Rigi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. My Russian is pretty bad. But yeah, this song is, well, my grasp on the Russian language isn't good enough to completely get what the song is about, but from what I've gathered, it's kind of about suicide, sad thoughts, being sad, and sadness all around. So yeah, it's kind of overused from TikTok though, so they've made a lot of TikToks with this sound, I think. It's the basic Russian Duma thing probably everyone knows from the album Etage. Etage? I don't know. Molchetom is the band. It's a really sad vibe, and adding to that is that I just, I've been learning Russian for like almost 3 years now because of my girlfriend. She was Russian, and it just kind of hits home that you learn a language for almost 3 years and then she leaves you because of some stupid reason. But I really like the Russian Duma music, and it fits really well when you look out into a skyline at night, driving with a train, looking out the window, seeing all those houses. Really makes you feel the song, so this is definitely an A tier for me. Next song is Sad Happy. I forgot to write down which band that is, but I assume everyone here is enough media competence to look up the song theirselves, him or herself. I don't know how to gender that correctly. I think my English is not good enough for that yet, even though it's English. It's easier in English than it is in German. But what do I know? So Sad Happy. I think it's a pretty good sad song, but it's more about the sadness you carry in yourself than the sadness caused by other people. Um, it also has a little bit of a happy vibe. Who would have thought when the song is called Sad Happy and not just sad? I know it's life altering, but yeah, it's not that relatable in my current situation, but it's still catchy and has a pretty sad vibe, so I would hit it with a straight B tier. Next song would be Nightmares, which is kind of cliched when he says something like, "Who gives a fuck about my nightmares?" Kind of teen angsty, kind of, yeah, gives you the teenage no one cares about me vibe, but that's kind of how you feel sometimes, so maybe it's not all that bad. Yeah. Another thing is on there is it's all a little fun until somebody gets hurt. Another lesson learned, broken up once again. Hurts in the best way possible if we look at it from a sadness angle. At least that's what I wrote down in my notes. And it's generally pretty sad, but it's not that great at making me cry because of the aspect that I think, damn, no one fucking cares about me is a little cringe because you still have friends. I know it's not the same as like a significant other, but still sad. And I don't like the now my best friends calling me like hi, hello part of the song. I don't know, kind of not the same vibe as the rest of the song. That's why I don't think it's that great, but still a good song, and I would listen to it. And I think it's still a high C tier, but it doesn't slap as hard as some of the other songs. Then on the next one, next song is Dead and Gone. It's from the Black Keys, great band. They also have got a good amount of songs that aren't sad, just vibes. And Dead and Gone is not that much of a sad song because of that vibiness. It's catchy. You can listen to it on a road trip, but yeah, the lyrics aren't all that sad. But one special part, after every single word you say, I'm feeling dead and gone, and it kind of nails the feeling when you receive like saddening news or something. I don't know if, for example, someone you've been together with for almost 4 years tells you they don't want to be together with you anymore, then you kind of feel dead and gone after every single word he or she says. So definitely pretty good. In my notes, I didn't write down which tier list to put it in, so I guess it's like a C because it's more of a catchy road trippy song and not a I'm going to cry my eyes out kind of song, which I kind of want in this playlist. So yeah. So onto the next song would be Witch's Cup by Biffy Clyro, and once again, I've got a bias for Biffy Clyro because I really love the band. I think they're great. They put out a lot of good stuff. They're a great band, if not the greatest out there right now. Depends on the genre. For example, with power metal, which I also listen to when I'm not depressed. But yeah, they're a pretty good band. And Witch's Cup, yeah, right. I was rating songs, not bands. Sorry. Yeah, the lyrics are sad, but they aren't necessarily about breaking up with someone or feeling sadness or whatever. But I kind of feel like they're questioning. The lyrics are questioning the existence and if there's something in the afterlife, and if it's good, if it's bad, we don't know. And that kind of hits home because I'm deathly afraid of dying. Nice little pun there. Yeah, I just hope when we go there's something deeper. It's one of the parts of the songs that really hits me because that's something I also hope for, but I don't think it's realistic. But you can hope for it. And the vocal performance by the lead singer Simon Neil is just great. And I also heard that song when they were playing at the Stadtpark in Hamburg, and yeah, it's even better in live performance than recorded. So yeah, it does bring a tear to my eye from time to time, but I think it's still a B. That's the wrong album. This is the right one, because it's not really necessarily sad in the situation, just a sad song in general. All right, next song, Opposite. It's a very strong start. The guitar riff alone sometimes causes tears to build up in my eyes. Um, Baby, I'm leaving here. You need to be with somebody else. Kind of fits my current situation. Hurts just to read it out. You are in love with a shadow that won't come back is also fitting and sad because when somebody leaves you, you always think of the memories, and they're probably a different person once you get over it, but you still think there's the same person because you think only of the memories and don't know what they're doing now. So it's shit and sad, and yeah, the song. The song is really strong overall, I think, and yeah, but it's not every part of the song is as sad as the intro. So so yeah. In conclusion, before I ramble on way too long, I think we can put this one at an A tier because it does what it's supposed to do, and it makes me sad, and that's great, isn't it? For this tier list video, at least it is. So the next song is Biblical by Biffy Clyro, once again. The song starts really strong with Baby, if you could, would you go back to the start, take any first steps, or watch it all fall apart again? Which I think is a question you ask yourself in these types of situations. Could you have done something differently if you had a time machine and went back in time? Would you change it? How would you change it? Is it even possible? Would it be a better outcome? Do you just want to relive the happy memories? All this kind of stuff, the good stuff, as you would say. And yeah, Another part of the song that also kind of stabbed me in the heart when I heard it. I mean, I know all these songs for a longer time than I've been broken up, but they hit especially hard these days. So another line would be, "It could have been a wonderful year. Instead, we might not make it to the end." Is a part in the song that comes later on, which is kind of true in my situation because I got broken up with like 2 or 3 days before New Year's Eve, or yeah, and that's why we didn't make it to the end. And the lyrics kind of entail that. So it's a hard thing to say, but overall, I think the song is not that sad. It's just these two lyric sentences that really hit hard. But they also don't really make me cry, but just question things. I don't know. I think it's more of a beat here, even though these two lyrics are really sad. Alright, next song, Slow Dancing in the Dark, Joji. Yeah. I don't think I have to say much about this song because we all know and love Joji. If you've ever been sad, you've probably listened to his music. It's moody, it's sad, and I love his vocal performance because he goes really high to really low. It has a great chorus, but it is not as sad as all the other Joji songs. Not all Joji songs, because he's also got some ones that are not as depressing as others and thus happier. But yeah, Slow Dancing in the Dark I think is just a good song, not great. But there are also some lyrics that kind of hit me really hard when I hear them. So, for example, "You should be with him, I can't compete." But this one would have been more hurtful or relatable if I actually got instantly replaced by another guy, which I hope I haven't been. I can't say because I blocked all contact like you should. But yeah, for me the line should have been, you should have been with me, they can't compete," even though that's a little too extroverted and too self-confident for me. I probably wouldn't say that, but if I had to rewrite the song, I guess those would be the lyrics. But still, overall, pretty strong song. It's a B. Okay, the next song up is "Yeah Right," once again from Joji. I can only say I dig the vibe of almost all the Joji songs. So this one's already pretty high from the start just because I dig the vibe. And for me, especially the chorus in the song encompasses the feeling of having to accept the situation but not being able to do anything about it, and just having to answer with a simple "yeah, right." I don't know if I'm interpreting the lyrics right, but that's what it is for me, and this is a subjective tier list. I don't have an objective musical opinion because I suck at musical theory, and I have no idea what I'm talking about, and it's subjective, so I'm putting it in A. Okay, next song is "Come As You Are" from Nirvana. I kind of cropped out the bottom part of the album cover because I don't really feel like having this kind of stuff that would be down there in a YouTube video, and I think YouTube doesn't like that as well. So I excuse myself for the cropped image, but I think the full image is fully available for everyone to see if they want. It's an old school classic rock song. I don't know if I'd consider it really sad. I just kind of dig the vibe of it and sometimes want to listen to it when I'm sad. So yeah, it's not that high up in the list. And also, I think it's kind of evil from Kurt Cobain how he lied in the song. Maybe not evil, but mischievous how he said, "And I swear that I don't have a gun," and then he just shot himself. So for lying, gets a C. Okay, the next song kind of triggers my angsty emo phase, which I didn't have. It's "Numb" by Linkin Park. You kind of feel, when you listen to it, thrown back in time, like an emo kid from 2010, even though the song is from 2003. But I think 2010 or 2012 is the first memory I have of it. I'm only 21 years old, so it would have been kind of weird if I listened to it in 2003 when I was 2 years old. Yeah, but it's kind of nostalgic anyways, because all of them maybe montage parodies or something, I don't know. But nevertheless, it kind of describes the feeling of numbness well. That's why it's in the title. I don't think that's a big surprise. The vocal performance also kind of captures this hateful angriness or this hate, this anger you sometimes get. But it's not really sad. It doesn't trigger my tear response. It doesn't make my throat feel closed up. I'm not crying on the floor when I listen to the song. I might even laugh because of the angsty teen stuff. So unfortunately, it's a D for me. Still a good song, but not really that sad. Maybe more hateful in anger. Maybe I should put it in my gym playlist. Who knows? Okay, the next song is one that some people might think is overrated, and I'm not sure if I'm one of them or not. But the next song is "Creep" by Radiohead. I think it's well known by everyone, probably. I think there are a few people out in the world who haven't heard "Creep" by Radiohead at least once. So it's an overall really sad song, which I like. I like the vibe. I like some of the lyrics, for example. I want you to notice when I'm not around, in combination with I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo, and that, for me at least, expresses the feeling of wanting to be missed and feeling like an asshole for it. Because, of course, you want to be missed. You don't want to be forgotten and just like, oh, well, he's gone. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. And it's complicated because the other person probably also feels like shit and misses you, but yeah, I don't know. It's complicated, but the song is good, maybe a little overrated and it's a little cliched maybe, but still dig the song, so maybe it's a B for me. Okay, the next song I have a special place in my heart for. It's not maybe not that sad, but it's also maybe a little bit cliched, and we come back to that angsty teen face kind of sentence. It's Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Greenday. Uh, yeah, what is there to say? I mean, it's a classic. Everyone probably knows it. Most people probably have felt the lyrics of the song in their heart at least once in their lifetime. Probably also in 2012. Yeah, I don't know. Encapsulates the feeling of being alone, not being able to talk to someone, only walking down a road without anyone else, which is probably not true for most people, but you still, well, at least most people still have friends, but if we apply it to the situation of a breakup, then of course you're now walking down the road alone, only with your shadow. And I don't know how many times I've blasted the song through my car speakers while driving down a dark, lonely road at night. So it's an easy 8 here. But I don't really cry for it, I just party to it. So, which maybe turns it down to a B, but it's a subjective playlist and I really like the song. Also got it on vinyl. Yeah, next song, I Miss You from Blink 182, also a classic. Who would have thought? It encapsulates the feeling of missing someone. What a surprise. Um, yeah, I relate about the lyrics because he says something like "can't sleep at night" or whatever, and I too can't sleep at right now because every time I close my eyes when I lay in bed, I get like flashbacks from happy memories, and it's shitty because you can't sleep, and then the next day is also ruined, and you perform worse at sports. You can't really focus. Yeah, it's not a great situation, but the song encapsulates this feeling really well. And yeah, it sometimes makes me tear up when I listen to it, but not most of the time because I don't know why, but that's just the case. But it's still an A because, well, yeah, because of what I just explained. Alright, just came back from a quick little water break because hydration is important. And the next song is Karma Police, also from Radiohead. I don't think there's much to say about the song except that I like it. It's sad, so it fits the playlist. And a joke I came up with is since the breakup, there's been a whole lot of radio, but not a whole lot of head. So, yeah, solid beat here, I think. Okay, the next song in the playlist is Notion by The Rare Occasion. I think most people know the song from TikTok, which doesn't mean it's bad per se. At least not if it's not been like reverb 3 times, nightcore, sped up, and I don't know, put through an echo chamber, which TikTok tends to do with most songs. Yeah, but I think it's a pretty good sad song. Um, it's not really specific about a certain sadness, just talks about it more in a generalized sense of being sad, I guess. So, but it still makes me tear up from time to time, so I'd give it an A. Alright, the next song is once again a song from TikTok, which once again doesn't mean it's necessarily bad, but yeah, let's just say the name. It's Never Enough from Rex Orange County. I actually wanted to make a joke when I thought of this video to put him in G tier for groomer, but apparently he's been cleared of all those allegations, and that's good on him for not being a pedophile, so yeah, good on him. But now I can't make the joke anymore, but I still wanted to mention it because I thought it would have been funny. Okay, alright. What to say about the song? I think it's about relatives dying more than actually breaking up with someone or generalized sadness or something like that. But I really, really like the vibe of the song. Yeah, but relatives dying can also be transferred, or the meaning can be transferred to breaking up, maybe, because authoritative sources I've read said that having a breakup is kind of like having someone die in a sense of physical and psychological reaction by the body. Seen hence my flashbacks I get when I try to sleep, and there's also kind of this feeling of sickness all around, so you feel sick, you feel like you're about to catch a cold or something, and that translates well into the stuff he sings in the song. So I think this might even be our first S tier, even though I shit on him in the joke. But I think it's a great song, even though it's kind of overused by TikTok. It's sad, it's moody, it's all I could hope for in a sad song. Actually, that's why it's an S tier. Or I could put it in A tier, because S tier should be really special. I'm kind of divided in this one. Maybe put it in an A and save the S for something that's actually perfect. Maybe that's the play here, I think. Okay, next song might also classify as a TikTok song. I don't know if I found it on TikTok or how I heard about it, but it's I Love You So from the Walters. I think that's how you pronounce the name. Might be wrong, I don't know. And it's a really good and sad song, actually, so I would recommend listen to it highly. Some of the lyrics are, for example, "This feeling's old and I know I have made up my mind." And it makes me think of my ex knowing she was gonna break up with me, yeah, even though there are still feelings involved, which I hope they were at the time. I don't know, I'm not her. But yeah, that hits home. It's sad. It made me cry a couple of times. Probably more than I would like to admit, so it gets an easy S. Okay, now we're coming into the category of bangers that really destroy your soul when you listen to them. The next song is Space from Biffy Clyro. I hate how sad this song makes me, if that makes sense, because it's probably designed to make you sad, which a lot of these are, but sometimes you just want to be sad and listen to these songs, so I don't take that as much of an issue. It's an overall really moody song that fits my specific situation perfectly with space, and there will always be a space in my heart for you, and all of that good stuff. Uh, yeah, and no matter the distance, which is a big part in why I got broken up with. And yeah, overall pretty good. I'd recommend you listen to it. It's funny, the song already kind of made me sad in the general situation I had, even though I wasn't even broken up with, and now it's even worse. Or better? I don't know. In this tier list it's higher up, so I guess we can say better. Put in an S. Easy S. Alright, now we're coming onto the part where I put a lot of Joji songs into this playlist, because I kind of put them in all at the same time, and I'm doing them after chronological order. And the one I'm tier listing, is that how you say it? The one I'm rating now is Glimpse of Us first. Yeah, still bothers me that like a goofy guy like Joji, pink guy, once jerked off like squids and said they were dying, and look at the pain his eyes can make me feel pain. So I don't know who broke his heart, but he or she did it in just the right way to make him produce like the most soul-crushing music. And Glimpse of Us is one of those songs. It's an easy S, and I think most people understand why. Yeah, the only thing that could make the song even deadlier is if you were currently dating someone to just get over your ex, because you see a glimpse of your ex in the eyes of the person you're currently dating, which I'm not. I hope the other person isn't doing as well. I don't have any authority about that, but yeah, it's a really sad song, and especially the lyrics, "Does he love the way I did?" Yeah, it's like kind of someone took a knife and stabbed you in the heart, and I think that's what good sad songs should do, and that's why it's an easy S. So the next song is Machines from Biffy Clyro. I first heard the song in concert when they played at Stadtpark in Hamburg once again. And back then I didn't know the song by heart, but now I can sing it without the song even playing, and it's sad. Even though the image kind of looks like it could be a meme, where like sometimes you're only missing one piece, and that one piece on the bottom is like $1 million or something. But the song is actually really sad. The vocal performance is so sad that actually makes me tear up before I even really understand the meaning of the lyrics. Pair it with the sad acoustic guitar, it's just perfectly depressing. And another easy S, and when I heard it in concert for the first time, I knew I had to put it in this playlist. So, yeah, easy S, pretty good. Okay, next song is once again Joji, it's Die For You. Burning photos, I heard that you're happy without me, and I hope it's true. Only time we speak is in my dreams is unfortunately all very relatable stuff in this situation right now. First thing I did was burn burn the photos, put them all like on a in a zip file buried deep in my hard drive, so I never have to look at them again. Blocked all contact, and only time we speak is in my dreams is unfortunately also true because you kind of dream of that person. It's like a traumatic experience. When one of my cats died, I also dreamt she came back as a zombie, so it's kind of similar vibe that I still talk to her in my dreams. I don't know, that might even be creepy. I don't know. But yeah, it's true. Those lyrics are sad and painful, and that's why it's an S. Okay, the next song is once again from Joji. It's Like You Do. Yeah, like once again, I don't know who broke his heart, who fucked him up this bad that he decided to make a whole generation depressed. But yeah, the song is also really sad. Once again, can't say much about it otherwise than that the lyrics are like pretty accurate, and I don't like that, or I like that. I don't know. I think you've figured out by this time, or by this time now, that it's kind of difficult to say with these songs if you like it or if you hate it, and I hate it. That's why I like it. So it's once again an easy S. Next song is You, EW. I guess it's You. I don't like this one as much as the others, but it's still good, so it's a B. Next song is Your Man, and it's the last Joji song for now. Like I said, I promise there's a lot of Joji in the end because I added all of his songs at once. Not all of his songs, but all of the songs in the playlist at once. Yeah, last song, like I said, Your Man. I could listen to the song without being sad, but he says stuff like, "Have you ever loved? Would you go again?" And that's a question I'm asking myself these days because of what happened. Do I actually ever want to love again? Because this shit hurt pretty bad, yo. Yeah, but yeah, sad, but not too sad because I could also listen to it like while I'm on a chill car drive, and still an A. That's probably switched up a cover somewhere. Let's just put it that way. Okay, the next song is Tosca, also from Molchat-Dom. I don't understand the lyrics that well. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm fluent in Russian just because I did Duolingo for 3 years. But I still, like I said, dig the vibe of the Russian Duma music. It's also, I think there's a playlist on Spotify called something like Russian Duma music, which I highly recommend. Pretty great. The sadness for me in the song is amplified because, like I said, my ex was Russian and I just learned a fair bit of it just to have conversations with her family maybe one day. Uh, the breakup put an end to that, and probably also the war Russia caused why you can't travel there. And there's I need to find another reason why I learned the language because I'm in too deep to just stop now. Oh yeah, I didn't say anything about the song, only about the sad circumstances. Um, yeah, I learned Russian. Just yeah. But it's still a C for me. The song anyway is still good Russian Duma music. Got that guitar sound you're probably all familiar with if you heard a Russian Duma music song. But it's a C tier because I don't understand most of it, unfortunately. But I still like the vibe. If I understood it, it would probably be higher. But yeah, it is what it is. Okay, the next song is Nidlia Minia. Nidlia Minia. So translated, not for me. Which once again hits hard Russian. I already talked about this in the playlist, in the tier list video so far, but this time I actually understand the lyrics because they are simpler than the other songs. Nidlia Minia, not for me, and I kind of apply this to my current situation. And in my mind, it kind of tells me this happiness is not for me. So the happiness maybe other people are experiencing right now or whatever, it's not for me. Um, Unfortunately, I would say. But yeah, that's why it's an easy A. I think it's this cover. I'm not sure between this one and that one because that's no, this one's right. It's an easy A. I like it a lot. Yeah, I can only highly recommend to widen your field of music listening and also listen to stuff in different languages because cultural impact, and yeah, it's just nice. Maybe I'll also find some depressing Spanish songs next time, I don't know. Which brings us to our next song, which I like for the same reasons, and that's why it's also in the same tier. It's Tibianie Triadam, so which translates to "you are far away" or "you're not close, you're not nearby." And I listened to the song already quite a lot when I was visiting my now ex, because she moved to a different city. And on the train ride, I looked out of the window. Everything was dark. I only saw some light up skyscrapers, and made me sad. Still makes me sad now that it's actually, you know, more far away than it was before. Let's just put it that way. Um, yeah. Next song, "Every Breath You Take" from The Police. Also kind of an old song, and I think it's in my playlist because I like the vibe of it. But if you actually listen to the lyrics, it's like kind of stalker-ish, very creepy. And I actually don't want to watch every breath the person of interest takes. I'd actually like to stay far away and not witness any of the stuff that's happening. So that's a D tier for me, unfortunately. It's a good song, don't get me wrong, but I think the lyrics in this context are creepy and stalker-ish, and I wouldn't want that, and I don't like that. Okay, almost at the end. This song is "Help Herself" from BB No dollar sign. I have no idea how you say that. The song was only introduced to me recently, and it's just sad, hits the feelings all the right ways. It's depressing. Can't recommend to listen to it enough. It's an S. And which brings us to our last song already. This song is "Mountains," once again by Biffy Clyro. And this song, I don't know why, but the guitar solo at the start always makes me tear up when I hear it. No matter what situation, every time I hear those fucking guitar chords, it's just tears in my eyes, and I have no idea why, because the rest of the lyrics aren't really that sad, but it just triggers a sadness deep within me that I can't comprehend, and I don't know why it does that. That's kind of a mystery to me, but that's what it does, and it does it good. But because I can't really explain it, it's an A tier. And talking in that kind of spirit, when we're already at the song, last thing I say is I still believe it's you and me till the end of time, even though that's probably not a healthy way to think about it and a very unrealistic way to think about it. That's just, but it's just the kind of person I am. Don't think it's healthy to think that way. I don't think it's good to cope that way, but yeah, I think this concludes my tier list. I hope everyone is unhappy how I placed these songs and comments how shit my music opinion is. That would really make me happy, unlike this playlist. So if you enjoyed this video and want to support me or subscribe, I don't know, do that. If you don't, then don't. Argue with me in the comments about the music choices I made. Yeah, if I manage to do that, maybe the playlist will also be linked in the description. Can't promise that. Even though there's some IT in my field of studies, I still sometimes fumble stuff like that. So it might be there, it might not be. Check it for yourselves. And yeah, hope to see you in one of my future videos if I make any. I haven't made any in like 2 years, but now I've got the spare time to do it. I gotta see the positive in the situation. Yeah, see you next time maybe.